Leyla was 36. A single mother with a quiet smile and tired eyes, she had left everything behind in Berlin after her divorce, except her 8-year-old son, Emre. They moved to Istanbul to start over. She had roots here. Her grandmother once lived in a small apartment in Karaköy, where the rooftops saw both the sunrise and the Bosphorus. Leyla rented a tiny studio near Galata Tower, working at a small antique bookstore. She spoke softly, dressed modestly, and rarely let people in. But every morning, she bought coffee from the same vendor across the street. That's where she met Kemal. He wasn't like the others. Mid-40s, salt and pepper beard, wore the same wool coat every day. He didn't flirt. He remembered her order. He once handed her coffee with a quiet note that read, "Some people start again by walking slower." They started talking, then walking. Then one day she invited him to the bookstore. He ran his fingers across an old Ottoman poetry book and said, "Some things survive because someone decided to hold on." Leyla smiled. Then came the secret. Kemal wasn't just a coffee vendor. He was a former art curator, one of the best in Paris. He had left it all after his wife passed away during an exhibition in Berlin. He'd been staying in Istanbul anonymously, just existing. They were both hiding. Then came the offer. Leyla received an invitation to join a luxury design house as a consultant in London through a friend who saw her sketches online. Double her income, travel, exposure. But Emre would have to stay in boarding school for 2 years. She told Kemal. He listened, then handed her an old key. "To my grandmother's attic," he said. "It has windows on all 4 sides, for your art, for your son, and for your breath." She went. The attic was dusty, forgotten, but in the corner sat a small easel and an empty canvas. That night, Emre said, "Can we stay in this city, Mom? You don't smile in pictures when we're away." She didn't answer. She just held him. The next morning, she turned down the London offer. Instead, she opened a tiny art and antique studio with Kemal. They named it Second Windows. Tourists came for the views. Locals stayed for the poetry on the walls. Emre sold postcards he painted with his mom. Months later, a reporter asked her why she stayed. Leyla said, "Because sometimes the most beautiful life is the one you never planned." And outside, under a fig tree, Kemal poured 2 cups of coffee, one for her and one for the day they almost didn't meet.